Short disclaimer here. Our products are not intended to cure any diseases, nor ailments, nor pain, nor anything. We're not making any promises and even less any guarantees. The stories you have heard are personal stories to every one of them. You will have to have your own personal story. Moving on, so you've heard about the company, you have heard about the products, and as I said earlier this morning, there is also a possibility, an opportunity to earn some side gig money or important money, as whatever you wish it to be. So welcome, help me welcome on stage from South Africa, Lucinda Campbell and Chris Hattingh. Chris Hattingh, hello. So you left your lovely wife down the first row?
She's got a lot to say later.
Okay. Thank you.
Anybody want to make gangster money? Gangster money, anybody? Wow. What we have in our hands right now, this technology that we have in our hands, I think you would agree with me. Dr. Stacey's presentation is absolutely phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. And, you know, myself and Lucinda, we've been part of LifeWave for 3 years. So, for 3 years, I've been on the patches, and, you know, 2 weeks ago I turned 76. Wow. And let me tell you something. I do not feel 76. I feel on top of the world. And about 5 people saw me this morning and said, Chris, you are looking good for your age. So that's what we're talking about here. Only kidding, I turned 51. I can see some of the faces, some of you guys didn't blink yet. I'm going, I better quickly tell you guys, because you better blink at some point. But this is what we talk about. We're talking about reverse aging. And my goodness gracious, the testimonies that we have seen in the last 3 years, we're talking beyond the hundreds, we're talking in the thousands. But yes, as Claudia was saying, you know, everybody's body is different. We cannot make any claims. You know, everybody's lived a different life. So you can never, ever, ever say to somebody, put this patch on your body and it's going to do X, Y, and Z. That's a big no-no. You never do that. Everybody's body is different. But it's a journey. You know, we live in an instant gratification mindset world right now. It's not only from a financial point of view, everybody's looking for that shiny object, that get rich quick. Those don't exist. And the same goes for health. You know, we're thinking, let's you know, put a patch on and I want to be healed by lunchtime. Or you know, maybe by dinner. Maybe by dinner I want to be healed. And I'll come back, no, the patch doesn't work. It's like, you have had this ailment for how long? 20 years? Exactly. Yeah. But let me quickly tell you, before I jump into the part that really gets me excited, is the financial side of it. Because, you know, there's 3 things that we're looking for in life. There's 3 things we're looking for. Health freedom, financial freedom, and who can guess what that other freedom is? Begins with a T. Time. Time freedom. Because they're all interlinked. They're all interlinked. Anybody want to live life on your own terms? Who would like to live life on your own terms? Yeah? Yeah? Anybody sitting here ever felt like enough is enough? Enough is enough. How many times have you ever sat in the tubes, early hours in the morning, cold, dark, you're on your way to work, and you're sitting there thinking, there's got to be more to life. There's got to be more to life than this. Yes, no. Or you're sitting in the traffic, behind a red light, bumper to bumper traffic, going from an appointment to an appointment, you're working. Have you ever thought to yourself, there's got to be more to life? I think everybody at some point has felt that way. Now, we came across LifeWave in a very different way, very different, unorthodox way. Now, very quickly, my background, I come from the children's toy industry background. I was known as Chris the Toy Man. I developed a little children's toy car 14 years ago, and I started off in a little garage, and I turned it from a little baby company to an international toy brand that I was selling my product to over 40 countries around the world. I traveled the world. And every company has what you call a tipping point. And tipping points are different for every company. My tipping point came in year 10, where suddenly it was like a lottery payday. And guess when that was? That was in October 2019. Does anybody remember what happened to this world in 2019? Yes, the pandemic did kick in, and it did change this. Yes, I did say it with an arrow. It changed this world. A lot of people right now today still have not recovered. You know that? They still haven't recovered. So financially, yes, but when you go through financial problems, it has an effect on your health as well. So you see how everything is interlinked. So, long story short, the product that I produced was a little toy car that little kids blew the back of it. So they had little turbines. You put your mouth on a mouthpiece, you blow it, and off this little car went and zoom, going across the floor. You can imagine during a pandemic, how popular a mouth-activated toy was, where kids were sharing spit with each other. Yeah, they didn't want to touch my company with a barge pole. And this was a company that was ready for liftoff. I don't care how strong-minded you are, but you know what? When you've put a decade, so we're not talking a 6-month stint or 1 year, when you put a decade into something and you watch it crumble in front of your eyes, you're going to hit a tad bit of depression. And I started finding myself going into a downward spiral. Every month I was just going down, anxiety, depression, brain fog, burnout, you name it, I had the works. I was on a Zoom call in October 2022, on a Zoom call, and a gentleman sitting right here in the front row was on the same Zoom call that I was on. Guys, I looked 15 to 20 years older than what I look today. My hair was completely grey, my beard was grey. Oh, that's one of the side effects, as Dr. Stacey was talking about. Your hair going back to its normal colour. That's one of the positive side effects. Black rings under my eyes, I looked bad. I'm on the Zoom call, I get a text message while I'm on the Zoom call from George. And do you know what he says to me? He says, "Hey Chris, you look like shit." Yeah. He had to get my attention. Okay guys, I'm not saying when you have lunch, start messaging your friends and telling them what they potentially look like. George could get away with it. He could get away with it. Because first of all, I said, "Well, thank you for the compliment." He said, "Sorry, Chris, I didn't mean to offend you. You don't look good." I said, "Thank you, everybody's telling me that." He was probably about the 10th person. He said, "I've got something that can help you." I said, "Really, what is it?" "Stem cell reactivation patches." Do you know what I heard? He could have been talking Chinese. Right? Never heard of this in my life before. So he sent me some info. 2 days later, sent me a PDF. 2 days later, sent me a video. 2-3 days later, another video. Guys, George sent me 21 messages. But he did it over 6 weeks. He did it over 6 weeks. It was only on the 21st message where he sent me a 6.5-minute voice note. And in that voice note were 2 very powerful testimonies. There's a nugget there, guys. 2 powerful testimonies. So he sent me all the information about the technology, the company, the science, the background. It went over my head because I didn't have the capacity for it. I was in full-blown depression, guys. I was in full-blown depression. So sometimes when you're talking to somebody, you might not get an immediate response. Don't worry, because you don't know what's happening in that person's life. But the thing is, just keep going. You never know where you're going to get the echo, which I'll touch on tomorrow. So anyway, quickly, long story short, I didn't have the money. I've made money in my life, I've made a lot of good money in my life, and you make some bad decisions, and you can find yourself back against the wall. Does anybody know what it feels like to have your back against the wall? Yeah?
I know it.
Yeah, not a nice place to be, but you cannot think straight. You cannot think straight. I had to phone my ex-business partner. To get toys on consignment to sell it to sign up. And that's what I did for 3 days, sold toys on my knees. I signed up on the 24th of November 2022. 2 days later, my patches arrived. Day 5, my life completely changed. I felt like a veil had been lifted off my head. The anxiety disappeared. But the biggest thing is the brain fog disappeared. It felt like I was living in a black and white movie, and somebody actually came and put the color switch on in my life. My mom, diagnosed with fibromyalgia 16 years prior, got her onto the patches. She would wake up every hour from the pain. We took my mom from doctor to specialist, you name it. She would eat paracetamol tablets, a jar of 100. She would eat that in 3 days. The side of my mom's mouth looked like chalk from eating the tablets. We tried everything. I went to go see my mom, took the patches to her, she laughed at me and said, "My boy, don't waste your money, what a load of rubbish." I said, I'm not asking you to patch, I'm telling you to patch. She started patching. 3.5 weeks later, my mom phoned me. She was crying on the phone. I said, "What's wrong?" She said, "My boy, I don't know how to tell you this." I said, "What?" She said, "I slept through pain-free for the first time in 16 years. That was the day that everything changed. That was the day that everything changed. But what I'm going to do, I'm going to jump straight in. I was going to play a short little video clip. I'm just going to go past that one. You can find it on online. It goes more into the overview of LifeWave. But I'm going to jump straight in and talk about, first of all, prices. Dr. Stacey touched on it just now, but you're probably thinking to yourself, wow, listening to all these testimonies, how much does this really cost? It must cost a fortune. So I'm going to touch on the kits and the options and that type of thing. But very quickly, just a bit of perspective. Stem cell injections, this is like minimal, $10,000 US, and you've got about a 50% chance that it actually will not work. That's the gamble that you are taking. Where the patches are more effective at literally a fraction of the cost. So the retail price, X39 or X49 is $149, that's retail, which, guys, is still a drop in the ocean. But why are we going to pay retail price when you can get the product at wholesale price? The price drops right down to only $99 for a sleeve of X39. The supportive, or X39 or X49, the other patches, the supportive sleeves, range between only $49 and $69 for a sleeve of 30 patches, except the LifeWave or the Energy Enhancer that comes in a dual set. Alright, so the enrollment kits, there's an annual membership fee of $25. If you want to put it a starter fee of $25, that's so that you can become a brand partner, you get registered in the system. But the important part is choosing a kit. A kit is where you're going to get the better price, and it's like a store. You cannot walk into a store and sell any products if the shelves are empty. Product is very important, and also you need to be a product of the product. Imagine if I'm talking to somebody and they say, "Wow, Chris, this sounds absolutely amazing. How does the product work for you?" I don't know how to use the product, I only sell it. Alright, guys, it'll never work. You've got to be a product of your product. Alright, so let me jump right in quickly. Core kit, $295, that gives you 3 sleeves of X39, or you can mix and match. So if you decide you want to try, like say the Eon as an example, you want to try maybe the LifeWave, you take one of the X39s off, and you can replace it with 2 of the supportive patches. And anybody that registers today during the lunchtime, at core kit or above, you're going to get a free sleeve of Eon. Eon we call the Happy Patch. Right, then the advanced kit, one of our more popular ones, is $535. That gives you 6 sleeves of X39, you can mix and match. Right off the bat, you're saving $90. That's a $90 saving. Then our new kit that was launched end of last year, I'm so glad this one is back. Yeah, Advanced Plus. That's actually one of our most popular kits at the moment because of the savings that you get. It's $975. You get 11 sleeves of X39, you can mix and match as well, but you are saving $150. Guys, that's over 10%, it's about a 12-13% saving. And then lastly, we have the premium kit, which is $1,750. 20 sleeves of X39, or you can mix and match, you're saving $275. Now the kits are once off. They only get purchased once, they don't get purchased again. What you then do is you can upgrade your kit at any given time. So if you register this weekend at core, $295, and in about a month's time you think, I should have actually registered at the advanced kit. But it doesn't matter. What you then do is you upgrade from the core kit to the advanced kit. So you go through the upgrade process and you only pay the difference, but you get the special pricing as you're going through the upgrading. So as David Schmidt, I love the saying, he says, we've got an incredible opportunity before you today, the opportunity to bring the healing power of light to everyone around you. In 2024, the convention was called Be the Light. In 2025, the convention was called Share the Light. This year, 2026, we're talking about Illuminate. These are the stages where we're at right now. And it's all about when you experience something beautiful, it becomes our social responsibility to share it with other people, because you could be potentially saving another human being's life. Now, we're at the right place, at the right time, with the right product, with the right company. So what's next for you? You can say, I don't know, I just want to dip my toe in the water. Let me just try the product out. You can purchase the product at retail price. Exactly what Dr. Stacy did. And the next day, my goodness gracious, how's that for synchronicity? How the series of events happened, because everybody's at exactly the right place at the right time, where they are meant to be. So you can try the product out at retail, you can become a preferred customer. You can get the wholesale pricing, subscription savings, and monthly product samples. And lastly, you can become a brand partner. That means that you can become part of this exciting community and turn your life and everybody else's life around with you on this exciting journey. You can build a business by sharing it with others. So what is important in your life? Is it family time, security, travel, better health? Well, I think we got that one right. We can tick that one off. Maybe a little bit of less debt. A bit of less debt. I can see a couple of people smiling. Yes, chop those credit cards up. That's the first thing you want to get rid of, is those credit cards. Albert Einstein said, compound interest is the 8th wonder of the world, right? But the problem is you don't want to be the one paying it, you want to be the one earning it. So it works both ways. So you want to chop debt as quickly as possible. I want to ask everybody, you can think about it in your own head, would an extra $500 a month make a difference in your household right now? Absolutely, yeah. Now I can see everybody nodding their heads. Guys, $500 is $500. You can pay that towards tuition, your debt, going out for dinner, spoiling your family, paying that mortgage off a lot quicker. Oh, there's so many things that you can do with $500, but that is just the start. As I mentioned earlier, there's 3 things that people are looking for: health freedom, financial freedom, and time freedom. Living life on your own terms. last week, was it last? Angel, was your birthday last Wednesday or Wednesday before? Last Wednesday. Oh, last Wednesday was my wife's birthday. I walked straight into that one. Hook, line, and sinker. I thought, phew. Okay, she said, I love you, baby. Thank goodness. I thought I was in trouble tonight. I couldn't remember. You know what? Things happen so quickly, we lose days and weeks, but from an excitement point of view. So last week, Wednesday, Lucinda's birthday, we were driving in the countryside, an hour and a half into driving, and I said to her, Angel, it's 10:30 on Wednesday morning. She goes, yes. I said, we're driving. She looks at me and goes, yes, it's 10:30, it's Wednesday, we're driving. What about it? I said, do you realize we did not have to put in a leave form? We did not have to go to a boss to ask if we could please take a day off. We did not have to do that. We just decided, oh well, we're going to take the day off whenever you want to. That's what LifeWave can offer. Yes, we work hard, make no mistake, we work hard, but we play hard as well. We play hard as well. It's all about living a balanced life, guys. All about living a balanced life. We work like there's a. Does anybody know what the word shongolono means? Okay, you learned from me. There's a thing called a shongolono in South Africa. A shongolono is this little. It's like a baby armadillo. Do you know what an armadillo is? All right. It's a little worm. And this little worm, it goes round into like a little circle. And then it opens itself up. It's like a centipede or millipede with hundreds of little legs. You've seen them traveling, these little worm things that kind of do this. They go like that. The little legs go walking. That's how it works. That's what this business is like. You work hard, you play hard. You work hard, you play hard. But it works exactly the same from an income point of view. But I'm going to that in a bit more detail now. All right, so jumping in, we've heard about what the product is doing for people. But let's talk about the business side. David Smith had to make a decision. He had to make a decision 21 years ago how to get this product out into the marketplace. He was going to put it onto infomercials, TV, radio, and get the product out, right? But what happened is in 2004, when he ended up patching the Olympic swimming team, I'm not going to go through the whole story, but that was a word of mouth. He met one doctor, who led him to another doctor, who led him to another friend, who led him to another doctor, and he ended up patching the Olympic swimming team. And what happened was, they won all the gold medals, the medals were taken away, David had to go and hand in everything, they did the testing at the microanalytical lab at UCLA, and they were given the medals back, and that's where LifeWave's journey started. And that's where David Smith made the decision. He said, I would never have got in front of the Olympic swimming team if it was not for word of mouth. And that's when David decided to make LifeWave a network marketing company. And I am so grateful, and I think a lot of people sitting here are grateful that that's the distribution method he chose. Because network marketing is 136 years old. Oh, hang on, we've moved another year already. Network marketing has been around for 137 years. That's how long this industry has been around. Network marketing is in its purest form, redistribution of wealth. Because what happens is instead of these big fat cats and these big retailers making all the money goes back into the hands of the people. The industry norm is 42%. LifeWave pays back to its brand partners 60%. So we're talking about duplication. This system allows you to duplicate your efforts. I can't remember who said it just now. I don't know if it was you, Jill, that said that. We can only speak to one person at a time. What we want to do is we want to leverage our efforts. We want to leverage our efforts. There's a gentleman by the name of John Getty, wealthy oil tycoon in the 1940s. He said, I would rather earn my fortunes of 1% of the efforts of 100 people than 100% of my own efforts. This is the concept of leverage and duplication. Now, I'm going to very quickly go through a couple of lines here talking about a conventional business versus a LifeWave business. Is there anybody here has anybody ever thought of opening their own business before? Has it crossed your mind? Yeah, a lot of people. Are there any people here that have their own business? Not anymore. I see a lot of hands going up. It's really refreshing that there's a lot of entrepreneurs in the house. But here we're talking about where you've worked for a boss before, you've potentially earned an income, you've earned a salary, where you're trading your time for money, and then you decide to get off that hamster wheel and start your own business. And then you move over to, you're on the same side of the cash flow quadrant, but now you are your own boss. But now we're talking about the time that you put in. Because the moment you're not there, the income stops. So starting your own business, you want to talk about regrets in life and missed opportunities. I'm going to tell you something that's going to blow your mind. When we arrived on Thursday, now we've been to the UK many times, and when we were here last year, there was like signboards saying opening soon, Nando's. And we see the Nando's is open. If you go look just down the road, Nando's. Has anybody eaten at Nando's before? We all know Nando's, the chicken place? Yeah. Right, Nando's is a South African company. Started 1987. They had their first store in 1987. Today it's a multi-billion-dollar company. Started in South Africa. Right up the road where my gran used to live was the first store. But you want to hear something scary. It started in 1987, but 3 years prior, my late dad used to work for the bank. He was one of the youngest branch managers in the country for a traditional bank. 4 gentlemen came and had a meeting with him and said, we have an idea. It's like a Portuguese chicken type of outlet that does fast food chicken, and we want to actually start to franchise it. And the idea is called Nando's. And there were 4 gentlemen there, and they were desperate. They just needed to get the money in. And they said to my dad, we're looking to even take in a 5th partner to give you a 20% share in Nando's. My dad said, what a load of rubbish, it'll never work. There's too many franchises doing chicken already, so don't waste your time and your money. I think that was a big role to play in my father's alcoholism. Yeah. Now my dad died at 56 years old from alcohol abuse, because something like that will keep you up at night. Don't ever miss out on an opportunity. Say yes. Say yes to everything. Richard Branson said, if somebody offers you an amazing opportunity, but you're not sure you can do it, say yes and learn how to do it later. And learn how to do it later. So in a traditional business, you're looking at very high startup costs. Guys, you can get into a business for little as $295. Where can you start another business for $295? It's literally impossible. And like I said, the type of money that you could earn, I'll just leave it at the word gangster money. Very high risk in traditional business. If you're talking about a franchise, as an example, yes, you can have the best franchise, but guess what? If you have the wrong location, they put you in the wrong place, you can go out of business very quickly. But here we're talking about the only risk in LifeWave is the person looking at yourself in the mirror. That's the only risk. Lots of stress running your own business. Been there, done that, got the t-shirt. Here, stress-free. It's a complete different life. Long hours, crazy long hours. When I had my children's toy company, I'm sure some of you know what it feels like to be working 12, 14, sometimes 16 hours a day when you have deadlines to meet. Here you make your own schedule. Trial and error, my goodness gracious. You've all heard the word school fees? Yes. Anyone paid school fees before? Yeah. Why are they always so expensive? They have to be. They've got to be expenses that you can emotionally feel it and remember, learn and move on and don't make the same mistake again. Here we've got a proven system. You plug into the system. Learning curve. Yeah, a lot of times when you don't have any mentors or anybody helping you, you've got a lot of external work you've got to go find out and knock your head on your own. Here we've got mentors helping you every step of the way. With LifeWave, you're in business for yourself, but not by yourself. You've always got somebody here to help you on the journey. Limited earning potential. As I mentioned, in a traditional job or traditional business, you're trading time for money. Where here you've got unlimited earning potential. It becomes like a fire with the wind blowing. Your first year, what you're doing is you're laying the foundation in your first year. And after that, when that momentum kicks in, you hit that exponential growth curve and you think, oh my hat, how did that happen? But it's not going to happen overnight. I see some people coming in, or potentially coming in, and they say, whoa, everybody must watch out. If I join LifeWave, David Schmidt better increase his production. These other people that are the high ranks, they're going to look like they're looking for parking. Because you don't understand the people I know. When I get going, I'm going to change absolutely everything. You're going to get you're going to find those people along the journey. You're going to find those people. And they say, you know what, I will be the fastest, I'll hit the top rank in 3 months, watch me do it. These people are still sitting at the $25 starters 6 months later, they still haven't done anything yet. Yeah, we're all going to get those. But why am I mentioning this? Because we have to have realistic expectations, guys. We've got to have realistic expectations across the board, specifically on the money side as well. Alright, so very quickly wrapping up. LifeWave, you heard the word, we were talking about the new compensation plan that was launched in the last year. The compensation plan that we had was called Compensation Plan 1.0, which got the company to the #1 company momentum with the comp plan that was in place. 4 years ago, it had to be re-engineered, recalibrated to facilitate the growth that is about to come. That all happened at the end of last year. The dust is settled now. Oh my goodness gracious. Yeah, you can see a couple of people nodding their heads. What we're sitting with right now is nothing short. So what you do is you hold the phone, you put the phone on, and you swipe it down, and there's a little part where it's got the silent. Silent.
Very good, very good.
Yeah, I haven't had my phone, I haven't heard a phone ring in nearly 6 years. I've had my phone on silent for 6 years.
Wow.
And I'm busy. When I hear a phone ring, I'm like, oh, that sound is like goes right through my head. It's the weirdest thing when I hear a phone ring. I'm getting that nerve association that this is affecting me. Can you please put that phone off? Yeah, that's okay, all good, it's all good. But yeah, that's part of living life on your own terms. I mean, I look at my phone when I need to. If it's an emergency, I'll get back to it when I need to get back to it. But I'm not going to let this little thing over here run my life. I will not let it run my life. I will control it. Oh, I thought you were trying to take a photo. Oh, okay. I just want to make sure. Oh, no, that's okay. So LifeWave's binary and uni-level plan, it's a hybrid plan. It's the most lucrative compensation plan in the world, taking the best of both worlds. Uni-level, binary, I'm going to talk a lot about that tomorrow. I'm going to show you diagrams and exactly what that looks like. But I'm not going to go into a lot of detail now, I'm just going to whet your appetite. Guys, if you've got your own company or you're working for a boss, you've got one income stream. You've got one income stream. That is you. With LifeWave, we've got 9 income streams. The uni-level bonus Imagine earning 6 generations up to $20,000 per week per person. I know you can pop this, that's like going like completely over your head, but I'm just going to quickly touch on it. Binary bonus. Imagine earning up to $25,000. Not per month, per week. I can see you guys are going, per week. Oh, no, you keep talking. We were chatting yesterday, we were talking, these two ladies over here have been in the network marketing industry before. Welcome home, welcome back, welcome back. And we were talking about a couple of incomes. And every time when I was talking, you were saying, that's per month. She said, what are you earning? That is a lot of money every month. I said to her, that's not per month, that's per week. And your face really dropped open, you're like, wow. So guys, we're going to talk about these figures. They are real, absolutely real. Everybody can achieve it, but it's up to you. I'm going to touch on three very quick bonuses. So the moment you register, you want to get your return on investment back. You want to put money in your pocket immediately. If you see $1 coming into your back office, you know this works.
Yep.
So I went through the 4 different kits that you can register at. If a person signs up at call, LifeWave is going to pay you $35 immediately to say thank you for introducing the person to LifeWave. If they register at advanced, LifeWave is going to pay you $75. If the person signs up at advanced, you'll get paid $165. And if the person signs up at premium, you get paid $405. So you can see very quickly how you can turn your initial investment, not a cost, it's an investment, because you're investing in yourself. You're getting real, tangible product for the money that you are spending. But look how quickly, if you share it with a couple of people, you get rewarded right off the bat, immediately. This is money you don't have to wait for. Because some people might go, I'm using my food money, I'm using the last bit of money I have left to my name. A gentleman in France that signed up 2.5 weeks ago, he's already this close to 3-star manager. When we spoke to him on a Zoom call, he said, I've used my food money and I don't know how I'm going to put food on the table at the end of this month. He's got already $500 back in his first week already. So that is really interesting. And the reason I like to show this slide is because somebody might be sitting here today. Somebody might be sitting here right now today going, Chris, I would love to be involved, but I really don't have the money. Use other people's money. Do you know what OPM is? Other people's money. Get out that credit card and just go zip. And guess what? Look at that. Before the end of the month, you can get that money right back and put it straight back into the bank before that interest even kicks in. Binary bonus, I'm not going to go into too much detail. Left team, right team, unlimited depth, up to $25,000 a week. Guys, the first time I saw that figure, $25,000 a week, when I asked George, I was like, please, really? When it becomes reality, you just smile and go, oh my hat, wow. And then on the mental matching bonus, I'm just like whetting your appetite a little bit, right? If you're a guest, you might be thinking you're hearing Chinese coming out of my mouth, and it's okay. I'm going to touch on it in a bit more detail tomorrow. This is really earning ongoing passive residual income. Warren Buffett. We all know who Warren Buffett is. Warren Buffett is like 3rd or 4th wealthiest man in the world. He said, if you don't find a way to make money while you're sleeping, you will work until the day you die. And this is what we have in our hands right now. Make that decision to completely change the trajectory. There's a word. To change the direction of your life. It's a big word, okay? I can get tongue-tied a couple of words. But I really hope that you heard something today that that you're really going to resonate with, because you're sitting with the opportunity in your hands to completely change your life and generations to come. And you know, today is a very different day for me today. My life completely changed 16 years ago today, on the 24th of January. Normally, on the 24th of January every year, and it has been for the last 16 years, I normally curl up into a little ball for the day, and I don't even look at my phone, I don't talk to the world. Today, on the 24th of January 2010, my little brother died at his bachelor's party. He was meant to get married the week after. So it's his 16-year anniversary today. And this is the first time that I'm actually doing something other than being in a hall for the day. And it's an honor and a privilege to be standing here on the stage in the UK.
Wow.
Standing here.